Hey everyone, Rick here, and folks, welcome back to another unit review for Battlefields of Mana, and this time, here it is folks, the cream of the crop. If you're watching these in order, you've seen everything from the lowest point unit Peasant Militia all the way up through men-at-arms, flail bearers, all these powerful infantry units. Then we got into the range units and the mounted units, and now here it is, heavy cavalry. First of all, probably one of my favorite looking units in the entire game. Again, link in the description. Alternative Armies in the UK, specifically Scotland, not only manufactures these figures in 15mm, they also have a range of, 25, 28 mil. Historical, fantasy, everything you want, but this is from their historic range. They have actually a couple of them: Renaissance, Dark Ages, just a whole bunch of stuff. But they not only manufacture these figures, but you can also commission them to paint them and base them. Had them create these custom movement trays, which are flocked and painted as well. And I mean, when you rank them up, just look at that. Are you kidding me? Crossed lances on the banner to let everybody know this is indeed a unit of heavy cavalry. And they look fantastic. Of course, we're looking at the Regal Guard variant. So this is the more colorful Renaissance scheme with the red, yellow, blue. And then we do also have the Lunar Knight heavy cav, same cross lances on the banner, moon on the shield, and then more of a darker red, purple, black color scheme. And of course their stat card as well, with their own iconography in the corner, but of course the stats are the same. I should back this up just a touch so you can get the full unit card there, because look at those stats. Folks, I hope you're ready. I mean, this is honestly, when we talk about stats, of course, there's pros and cons. When we talk about archers, they have fantastic range. They're not so good in melee. They are, you talk about, who else? Like light cavalry, you have speed, but they don't pack a hard offensive punch. Folks, this is it. This is a unit packed with everything but range, essentially. So let's start at the top and work our way down. Attack dice 3. That means every single figure that's in close combat gets 3 attack dice. Combat strength of +1, so every die they roll is also bumped up by 1 to a maximum of 6. Armor 3. This is the highest armor we've seen so far. Armor 3 means it takes 4s or better just to hit them. I mean, that's insane. That's like a 50-50 shot just to even hit them. And then if you do hit them, they still get their defense dice, and they have the defense special ability dodge. Now I'm in the process of maybe renaming that ability. I came up with the ability with a different unit where the term dodge made more sense, because the ability states that any dice that you roll in defense that failed to negate an attack die can be re-rolled one time. So we've talked about the parry ability before, which was similar. Any dice that failed to negate an attack die in that scenario could be re-rolled, and on the result of a 6, it negated an attack die. But in this case, dodge, it doesn't have to be a 6. It can be anything that just equals or exceeds a defense or an attack die. But of course, with heavy cavalry, they're not dodging. I'm still kind of working on maybe some terms to rename that to something more along the lines of like a deflect or something like that. That sounds more heavy cav, but also still the other unit, which we will talk about in the future. Where dodge made more sense for them, but doesn't sound so good for heavy cav. But still, the effect is the same. They have armor 3, so if you're attacking this unit of heavy cavalry, only 4s or better are going to hit them. Heavy cavalry then get to roll defense dice equal to the number of attack dice, and then they negate any attack dice equal or exceed with their defense dice. And then any of those dice that failed to negate an attack die can be re-rolled one time. So I mean, That's insane. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. They get so this whole front row essentially. Think of that: 3 dice, 3 dice, 3 dice. That's 9 dice, all +1. And then when you're attacking them, you have to get 4 or better. And then they also can dodge it potentially. No range though, movement of 5. So there you go. That's kind of the trade-off a little bit, is they have a slower cavalry movement. Think of all that armor, they're heavy cavalry. So light cavalry, movement of 6, heavy cavalry, movement of 5. Still 5 is not bad. So they can move 5 inches and then still engage in an attack action or forego the attack and move 10 inches. Initiative bonus of +3. That's right up there among the absolute best. Of course, light cavalry had an initiative bonus of +4, which was the best for a non-hero character unit. But a +3 is right up there amongst the best initiative bonuses possible. Health of 2, so every figure still has a health of 2. So that means every 2 wounds that the unit takes is a figure eliminated as a casualty. And then the abilities. Well, we've seen cavalry before. What did that mean again? That means in melee, we get a +1 initiative bonus stacked on top of our +3 if we are going up against non-polearm infantry. So that cavalry ability doesn't matter if we're attacking other cavalry units, and it also doesn't matter for attacking polearm infantry, because polearm infantry feast on cavalry. But if we are going up against archers, swordsmen, axemen, men-at-arms, flibbers, all different types of non-polearm infantry, we get an additional +1 to our initiative, bumps us up to a +4. But that other ability that we have not yet seen, well, unless you're not watching these videos in order, is the collision special ability. Collision is if this unit of heavy cavalry moves into base contact with an opponent, you roll a die. And it doesn't matter if you move into contact with one movement action, or if you use both your movement actions to move up to 10 inches and contact an enemy, even if you're not going to attack later that turn because you used both your actions on movement. Doesn't matter. If this unit moves into contact with an opposing unit, roll a 6-sided die, and this unit gets that many attacks. They're unmodified though, because it's just the charge of the steeds themselves smashing into the opponent, so they're not going to get the +1 or anything like that, but you roll a d6, you get that many unmodified attacks against the opponent just for moving into contact with them. So, I mean, that's just insane. And then the cost, yeah, you aren't seeing things. This is a 5-point unit. Of course, when you add up everything that this unit can do, offensively, defensively, the collision hits, the initiative bonuses, 5 points almost sounds like a steal. I mean, 5 points is a unit of axemen and a unit of archers, or a unit of 2 units of swordsmen and a unit of peasant militia. I mean, you can imagine all of the different combinations. A unit of mounted archers and a unit of spearmen is 5 points. Or you can get a single unit of heavy cavalry, which can do it almost all. Of course, no range capabilities, but still. Absolutely love the look and effectiveness of the heavy cavalry, and that's why they're one of my favorite units in Battlefields of Mana. So thank you, folks, for joining me for another unit review. I appreciate it so much, and until next time.